that changed the Clippers forever.
You on your way out, and we 5-16, and this nigga T. Lue ain't talking to me. Hey, check this out. We already in Charlotte.
Name some other superstar that got done.
You gonna send me home?
Try to force their hand.
The early Christmas for me.
It did seem peculiar that we knew this was probably going to be his last season, but to make the announcement.
Yeah, forcing their hand, bro. Listen, that shit's so calculated, bro. Listen, one thing we know, Chris Paul is a smart individual. Shit was calculated.
He said enough shit to get his ass kicked off that team.
Yeah. Shit was calculated, dog. So what everybody want to say is just what it is, man. It's a hell of a basketball player.
And nothing wrong with holding your teammates accountable.
I think, like I said, there's nothing wrong with holding guys accountable, right?
This thing is
Clippers, bro.
Yep. Nothing wrong with it. And nothing wrong with holding your teammates accountable. Want to get the best out of guys when they're going. But how you going about it, though?
Don't hold me accountable if you.
Well, okay, I haven't spoken to a few of the Clippers. They know that if I don't get a call from them, they'll be getting a call from me within the next 24 hours. Like the whole organization cracked from the inside out. At 2:40 a.m. Eastern, during a 5 a.m. road trip inside a quiet Atlanta hotel, CP3 grabbed his phone and hit Instagram with a bombshell. He shared news he had just learned himself. Just found out I'm being sent home. No goodbye, no respect, no real explanation. Just a raw drop that shook everybody awake. It's kind of like it's kind of like a slap on the back on your way out type of thing. You know, I was present when Bleak Griffin
Had some history.
He hold the ball 24 seconds. Chris Paul. Pass that to James or somebody.
Him and LeBron, they came to a game. I was in 11th grade, and I'm excited. Like, I'm a Chris Paul fan. And then he was just like,
You gotta rephrase that.
What?
It's 1-5.
I'm just saying, it's not. You said with each other. I think only one. There was a lack of respect for Mr.
No, I don't think Chris Paul seen it.
I feel like Chris Paul is the last true point guard we'll ever have at that size. I know when I was growing up, we were taught how to be a point guard like Chris Paul. So he is definitely the definition of a true point guard, and he's done it for a long time. Everywhere he's went,
across
he's won.
the league,
Congratulations to
former
him.
players,
We'll never see another
execs,
small.
and when you sign Chris Paul, he's always had a lot to say. You know that. He's an acquired T. The Clippers confirmed it hours later. Chris Paul was released. A reunion meant to be a warm final chapter suddenly flipped into a public breakup that felt like it happened under harsh neon lights. The league was stunned. His old teammates were stunned. And Clippers fans, already hurting from a brutal 15-16 start, just looked lost. Only 5 months earlier, Paul signed a 1-year, $3.6 million deal to return to the place where he built his legend, 5 All-Star teams, Lob City, the whole movement that changed the Clippers forever. But you want your way out, and we 5-16, and this T. Lue don't talking to me? Hey, check this out. Name some. We already in Charlotte. Name some other super.
More than a bit. I just don't understand. You couldn't have a conversation. Like everybody knows who Chris Paul is. He's one of the most decorated, one of the best point guards in the history of our game. And you send him home like he's a child. It's kind of crazy to me. You knew who he was. You knew how he acted. You know what he brings to the table. So for you to like I said, treat him this way is very bad on the Clippers organization. I hope for Chris's sake it's not worse, but I hope for the Clippers organization that there's something more than just him being a distraction in the locker room where you can't have a conversation. Because this is not enough. This is not enough to send a 20-year vet, when most places, one of the best point guards in the history of our game, home. And when you guys are playing such bad basketball.
Yeah. I just wanted to be home by any means necessary. On November 22nd, he announced this season would be his final run. 6 days later, the Clippers honored him with a tribute video inside the new Into a Dome, posting it proudly with the caption, CP3 will end his Hall of Fame career at home. 4 nights after that, home is exactly where they sent him.
Everywhere he's went, he's won. Congratulations to him. We'll never see another small point guard at that size anymore. Not with love, but with silence and confusion. And according to ESPN's Shams Korakinia, this tension had been bubbling for weeks. Paul's leadership, the same leadership people...
Chris Paul. Now, this is a future Hall of Famer who's come there for the last year in his career. I don't give a damn what's going on with the team. They're trash right now. We understand that. They have the worst superstar in the sport, Kawhi Leonard, who is a talent when healthy, no doubt, but does nothing to promote his team nor the game of basketball. The absolute worst superstar that you could possibly have. And from what I've been told, the only person that really talks to him is CP3 because nobody else talks to him. Okay? Just leave him alone. That organization right now is a mess. It's a mess, okay? I know, and we know it ain't coaching because Ty Lue the coach. Ty Lue know what the hell he doing. Now, Jeff Van Gundy being there, we know Jeff Van Gundy knows the stuff, but he's old school, stuff like that. I get it. I have not spoken to CP3 yet, but you know I will. Okay, I haven't spoken to a few of the Clippers. They know they'll be good. They know if I don't get a call from them, they'll be getting a call from.
For a franchise that sold this season as a farewell tour for one of its biggest icons, that refusal said everything. The relationship wasn't just strained, it was done. Everyone knows Paul's personality is intense and demanding, a perfectionist, a leader who pushes hard. That's never been a secret, not to the Clippers, not to Lou, not to anybody in the league. When the Clippers brought Chris Paul back, they knew exactly who he was. They just didn't expect him to still expect greatness from them. Reports say he became more vocal as the season crashed into one of the ugliest starts the franchise has ever seen, pushing coaches, pushing management, and pushing teammates who looked lost. What the Clippers call disruptive, Paul probably saw as real leadership. Accountability is the heartbeat of every contender he's ever tried to build. But on a roster drowning in confusion, that same accountability suddenly became unwanted.
It's kind of like a slap on the back on your way out type of thing. You know, I was present when Blake Griffin was traded. You know, my personal situation. This is a person that told me I can relax. I'm not getting traded. 15 minutes later, I was an Atlanta Hawk. And now we have this scenario. So, and you guys been working for me. This is going on year 3 now. I've held my tongue and not been critical of L. Frank because that's not really my style. And I didn't want to be the scorned ex-girlfriend. I didn't want to be that person. And so I never spoke about him in this manner. But when you do this to a guy, and I'm gonna keep harping on it, that 3 was going up in the rafters. That 3 was going up. And you do this to that guy? Like, okay, cool, he's talking shit. Okay, cool, he got a lot to say. Chris Paul has always had a lot to say. You know what you're signing up for when you sign Chris Paul. He's always had a lot to say. You know that. You know he's in a
run. Instead, the Clippers turned it into a lesson on how fast dysfunction can swallow a team whole. Lou Williams didn't hold back in his reaction either. He said the criticism Paul aimed at the front office was the real breaking point. Basically, they didn't like the messenger, so they erased the message. Across the league, former players, execs, and reporters echoed the same thing. If anything, the Clippers needed more accountability. Instead, they pushed out the only person still demanding it. Chris Paul can't be traded until December 15th, and the Clippers haven't waived him either, leaving him stuck in a strange basketball limbo. A Hall of Famer caught in the middle of a franchise that doesn't seem sure where it's heading. His contract is guaranteed, his legacy is respected everywhere, his resume spotless. Yet in his final NBA season, he's without a team, without a role, and without the farewell he earned. Meanwhile, the Clippers keep stumbling forward, and the 2026 first-round pick they desperately need that belongs to the 21-1 Oklahoma City Thunder, a franchise built on the very assets they grabbed from the Paul George trade, is now staring at a bleak future. Their present is cracked, their culture is falling apart in plain sight, and the one guy who tried to call it out is the same guy they sent home. Chris Paul never needed a fairy tale ending. Nobody's promised that. But he deserved a respectful one, a real send-off, a meeting, a handshake, a grown conversation, something with dignity, not a lonely spotlight at 3 a.m. What happened wasn't just a betrayal of Paul Lee, it was a betrayal of the image the Clippers sold to their own fans. They said he was coming home. They said this was where he'd retire. They said this was family. But when the moment got tough, they treated him like he was a problem instead of a pillar. Maybe Paul was right the whole time, and maybe the Clippers just proved